I'm going to teach you the guitar solo to You Shook Me All Night Long by ACDC. But before we get into that, don't forget to drop this video a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. So now let's get right into it. This song is in the key of G, and it starts in a G minor pentatonic position. So it's going to start on a bend on the 5th fret of the guitar on the 3rd string. And if you want to put a little bit of vibrato on there, feel free. That's something that Angus Young does quite a lot. Really good way to start the solo. And then we kind of got a little bit of a descent from the 3rd fret on the high E to the 3rd fret on the B. And then we play the 6th fret on the 2nd string. And then we do a pre-bend where we bend the string on the 5th fret of the 3rd string before we actually play it, and we bring it down as opposed to bending it up, a little bit like this. Here's what we've got so far, that little section. Now we've got a nice little minor pentatonic run, which starts on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string to the 5th fret of the 4th string, grabs the 5th fret on the 3rd string straight after it, 3rd fret on the 3rd string, and then 5th fret on the 4th and 5th string. Together sounds like this. Then we're going to go to the 5th fret on the 4th string, to the 3rd fret, 5th to 3rd on the 5th string, and then we're going to play the 1st fret on the 5th string to the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and then we're going to jump all the way from the 6th string to the 3rd string on the 3rd fret, and we're going to do a little bit of a drag on this note. We're going to play the 3rd fret on the 3rd string and drag it a little bit. It's not quite a half bend, it's somewhere in between a quarter bend and a half bend. After that, we're going to play the 5th fret on the 4th string to the 3rd fret, back to the 5th fret, and then end up on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Here's what we've got so far right from the beginning. I'll play it a bit slow. Nice little beginning to the solo there. Then moving on, we've got a slide this time from the 5th fret to the 7th fret on the 3rd string. And after that, we're going to grab the 6th fret on the 2nd string and play that twice. Then we're going to do the same lick as that again, but we're going to change the frets to the 7th fret to the 9th fret, and then we're going to grab the 8th fret straight after that on the 2nd string. It's the same lick twice, just starting first from the 5th fret and then from the 7th fret. Which is a really good way of getting from a minor pentatonic position to a major pentatonic position. It sounds awesome. And then we're going to play the 9th fret to the 8th fret. So 9th fret on the 3rd string, 8th fret on the 2nd string. Then we're going to bend the 10th fret of the 2nd string. A full bend, by the way, not a half bend, not a quarter bend, that's a full tone bend. And then when you've got that note up there, you're going to play the 10th fret on the high E. And then do that bend again and bring it back down. And then play the 8th fret on the 2nd string to finish that little phrase. Then we're going to play the 11th fret on the 2nd string, do a full tone bend, then back down a fret to the 10th fret, play another full tone bend, 8 on the 2nd string, 9 on the 3rd string, and then back to 8 on the 2nd string. That whole little section from those slides. Really cool little section. And then we're going to jump all the way from this section of the guitar all the way up to the 15th fret, which is the octave of where we started down here. So we're now right up here. Now what we're going to do all the way up here on the guitar is very similar to what we did at the start of the solo down here. So it's in the same pentatonic position, but it's just up here at the 15th fret. We're going to do a bend on the 18th fret of the B string, full tone bend, and then we're going to play the 15th fret on the high E and B string, and then grab the 18th fret by itself on the B string. And then we're going to go to the 3rd string, do a bend on the 17th fret, and bring it back down. And then 15 on the 3rd string, 17 on the 4th string, 17 on the 3rd string, and then 15 on the 3rd string, and then bend the 17th fret on the 3rd string. And with that bend up there, then grab the 18th fret with your little finger on the 2nd string. That little section is. And then do that little section again, that little bend, and then the 18th fret. Does that twice. So this is what we've got on that little section. Then we're going to do a bend on the 17th fret of the 3rd string. Bring it back down, play the 15th fret on the 3rd string, and then 17th fret on the 4th string, 17th fret on the 3rd string, 15th fret on the 3rd string, back to 17 on the 4th string, and then 15 on the 3rd string. There's a lot of very common pentatonic phrases in this solo. It's quite repetitive in some way with the note choices that it makes. So that whole little section from when we started this bend up here sounds a little bit like this so far. Almost at the end now, we're going to play the 15th fret on the 2nd string, and then a bend on the 18th fret of the high E, a full step bend. And then play it again when you've got the bend at its peak. If you can do vibrato on the top of a bend, then definitely throw that in there as well. Now here's a really cool lick which I really like. He plays the 18th fret on the high E, and he does a pull off from the 17th fret to the 15th fret. So he's actually adding a major second in this little phrase here, which isn't obviously in the minor pentatonic where this position is, but adding that note is really cool to make this sort of thing. But then he shifts into a major pentatonic phrase straight after it and plays the 17th fret on the B string, 17th fret on the E, back to 17th fret on the B, and then 15th fret on the high E. And then we're going to do a bend on the B string, 18th fret. And then we're going to do a descent starting on the 15th fret of the high E, and then 18 to 15 on the B. Then a bend on the 17th fret of the 3rd string. Bring it back down, play the 15th fret, and then another bend on the 17th fret. Again, throw some vibrato on there if you can. And then the last little phrase of this solo, it's got a slide from the 15th fret to 17th fret on the B string. And then we're going to play 15 on the high E, 17th fret on the B, back to 15 on the high E. And then we're going to do a full tone bend from the 17th fret of the high E string, bring it back down, and then finish off your solo on the 15th fret of the high E with a nice little slide out. And that's the entire solo. So now I'll just play the whole end section of that solo so you can hear what it sounds like all put together. So that's how you play the guitar solo to You Shook Me All Night Long by ACDC, one of my favourite guitar solos to play. If you want to get the tab for this solo, then check the link in the description where you can go and check out the tab for free. Now let me explain the best way to go about learning this guitar solo because it's quite a long one. The main thing I'd say about learning it is to put it into sections, break it up into little parts because, like I said, it's quite a long solo and trying to do all of it in one go will be quite overwhelming and you don't want to overface yourself, so just learn one little section at a time. That's why I broke it down into little parts. This is what I would class to be section 1. So spend a few days on that, get that really solid before you move on to section 2, which is this. Spend some more time on that. Get really, really good at that before you move on to the next bit. Basically, you don't want to go to the next section before you've mastered the previous section. So get really good at one section before you move on to the next. So after section 2, we've got section 3, which is the part that starts at those slides. Moving on to section 4, where we jump to the top of the fretboard here, almost, on the 18th fret. And then section 5 to finish off the solo. So practice every individual section before you move on to the next. And that's the best way to learn this solo. Don't try and do it all in one go. Get really good at one part before you move on to the next bit. And by the time you get to the end of it, you'll be absolutely awesome at all of it. And finally, there's no rush with this solo. Don't try and play it faster than you need to. Play it slower more than anything, because that's really going to get the mechanics and the muscle memory involved in your hands, which is going to make the whole thing sound a lot better. So don't rush with it, take your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Any of the guitar solos that you'd like to learn, let us know in the comments, and hopefully we'll get around to making that lesson for you.